The Stolen Bride. Chapter 1. The Lion's Den. Clara Sterling smoothed the skirt of her worn thrift store dress. Her hands were trembling. She walked into the office where the man who held her life in his hands stood looking out at the rain. "You're late," a deep voice rumbled. It was like velvet wrapped around steel. Damon Leventis turned. He was taller than she remembered from the tabloids. His suit was Italian, cut to perfection, accentuating broad shoulders and a powerful chest. But it was his eyes' dark, obsidian pools of judgment that froze her blood. "The tube was delayed," Clara said, lifting her chin. She refused to cower. "My father said you bought his debt. All of it." Damon walked to his desk, picking up a single piece of paper. £5 million, Clara. Your father embezzled from my subsidiary. He isn't just bankrupt. He is facing 10 years in prison. I can work," Clara stammered. "I'm a skilled restorer. I can pay you back in installments." Damon laughed, a cold, harsh sound. "Installments? You would need 3 lifetimes. No, I don't want your money. I want the one thing Marcus Sterling treasures most." He stepped closer, invading her personal space. The scent of sandalwood and expensive scotch filled her senses. He reached out, his rough thumb grazing her jawline. Clara's breath hitched. She should pull away, but the electricity between them was paralyzed her. "What do you want?" she whispered. "I need a wife," Damon declared, his eyes dropping to her lips. "My grandfathers will demand I marry before my 33rd birthday to inherit the Aegean fleet. You will marry me. You will give me an heir. And in return, your father stays out of prison." Clara gasped. "You're blackmailing me into marriage. That's barbaric." "This is business, Clara. Do we have a deal? Or shall I call the police?" Chapter 2. The Gilded K. The diamond on Clara's finger was heavy, a shackle of platinum and ice. They had been married 2 hours ago at a sterile registry office. No flowers, no guests, just a signature that signed away her freedom. Damon sat across from her, reading a dossier. He hadn't looked at her since the ceremony. "Why me?" Clara asked, breaking the silence. "You could have any woman, models, heiresses." Damon lowered the papers. "Because you are a Sterling. Taking you is the ultimate punishment for your father. He stole my family's legacy. I am stealing his future. Is that all I am to you? A pawn?" Damon unbuckled his seatbelt and stood up. The cabin was small, forcing intimacy. He loomed over her. "You are also a very beautiful woman, Clara. Do not mistake my pragmatism for indifference." He leaned down, his face inches from hers. The air crackled with sudden, undeniable tension. For a moment, Clara thought he would kiss her. She wanted him to. The realization shocked her. This was the monster who bought her, yet her body betrayed her, yearning for his touch. "We land in Santorini in an hour," he said abruptly, pulling away. "Prepare yourself. To the world, we are madly in love. Behind closed doors, we are strangers." Chapter 3. Santorini sunsets. 3 weeks had passed. The villa was a paradise, but Clara felt like a prisoner in paradise. She spent her days wandering the olive groves and sketching the sea. Damon was often gone, working, or so he said. Tonight there was a gala. The elite of Greece were coming. Clara descended the staircase. In a gown Damon had purchased emerald silk that clung to every curve, with a slit that revealed a scandalous amount of leg. Damon was waiting at the bottom of the stairs. He stopped mid-sip of his wine. His eyes raked over her, darkening with a hunger he couldn't mask. "You look," he cleared his throat, "adequate." "High praise from the master of the house," Clara shot back, masking her hurt. The party was a blur of champagne and fake smiles. Damon played the doting husband perfectly, his hand possessing the small of her back, his lips occasionally brushing her temple. Every touch sent a jolt of fire through Clara's veins. Then she arrived. Alina, tall, blonde, and predatory. Damon's ex. "Damon, darling," Alina purred, ignoring Clara entirely. "I heard about the sudden nuptials." "How quaint." She turned to Clara with a shark-like smile. "You must be the little debt payment. Does he make you wear a price tag in bed?" Clara stiffened. She looked at Damon, waiting for him to defend her. Damon's jaw tightened. "Alina, leave." "Why?" Alina laughed, stepping closer to Damon, placing a hand on his chest. "We both know this is a sham, Damon. You still come to me in your dreams. This little mouse can't handle a man like you." Clara didn't wait. She turned and ran, fleeing the ballroom, out onto the terrace, overlooking the crashing waves. Chapter 4. The storm breaks. Clara gripped the stone railing, tears stinging her eyes. She heard heavy footsteps behind her. "Clara." "Go back to her," she spat, not turning around. "She's clearly the one you want." Damon grabbed her shoulders, spinning her around. "I do not want her. I haven't wanted her for years." "Then why did you marry me?" "Just for revenge," Clara cried, the emotional dam breaking. "Because I can't do this, Damon. I can't pretend to be your wife when you look at me with nothing but cold calculation. I have feelings. I care about you." The silence was deafening. Clara covered her mouth, realizing what she had confessed. Damon stared at her, stunned. The wind whipped his dark hair around his face. "You care." "Yes," she whispered, defeated. "God help me, I do." Damon's control snapped. He groaned, a low, guttural sound, and pulled her against him. "You foolish woman," he rasped. "Do you think I am made of stone?" He crashed his lips onto hers. It wasn't a gentle kiss. It was a searing brand, possessive and desperate. It was the kiss of a starving man. Clara melted into him, wrapping her arms around his neck, her fingers tangling in his hair. He swept her up into his arms, carrying her away from the party, toward the master bedroom. The revenge plot was forgotten. Tonight, there was only fire. Chapter 5. The morning after and the betrayal. Clara woke up wrapped in satin sheets, her body aching in the most wonderful way. She reached out for Damon, but the other side of the bed was cold. She sat up, wrapping a sheet around her. On the pillow, there was a note. Urgent business in Athens. Will return tomorrow. No, I love you. No, last night meant everything, just business. Clara felt a pit form in her stomach. She got out of bed and saw Damon's laptop open on the desk. The screen was active. An email was open. It was from his lawyer. Subject: divorce proceedings and trust, fund release body. Mr. Leventis, now that the marriage is consummated and the inheritance secured, we have drafted the separation papers as requested. Clara Sterling will receive the agreed settlement once she signs. The room spun. It was all a lie. Even last night, the passion, the intensity, it was just to consummate the deal to secure his money. He didn't care. He was planning to divorce her the moment he got his fleet. Clara felt a cold fury replace her heartbreak. She wasn't a mouse. She was a Sterling. She packed a bag. She left the ring on the laptop. She took the first ferry to Athens and then a plane to nowhere. Chapter 6: The Chase. Clara wiped paint from her hands. Her belly was swollen, 5 months pregnant. She had hidden well. She lived simply, restoring old paintings for a local chapel. The bell above the shop door jingled. I'm sorry, we're closed. She froze. Damon stood in the doorway. He looked terrible. He had lost weight, his eyes were rimmed with red, his face unshaven. He looked like a man who had walked through hell. He stared at her, his gaze dropping instantly to her pregnant stomach. The color drained from his face. Clara, he breathed, his voice cracking. My God. Get out, she said, grabbing a palette knife. I signed the papers you sent. I sent them back. Leave me alone. I never sent those papers. Damon roared, stepping forward. That was my lawyer acting on old instructions. I fired him the day I came home and found you gone. He fell to his knees. The great, arrogant Damon Leventis was on his knees on a dusty studio floor. I have searched the world for you, he said, his voice raw with emotion. I haven't slept. I haven't lived. When I found the ring, it broke me. You only wanted the inheritance, Clara said, her voice wavering. I don't care about the fleet. I don't care about the money. I donated the inheritance to charity last month just to prove to myself that I didn't need it. He looked up at her, tears in his obsidian eyes. I only need you. I fell in love with you the moment you walked into my office in that rain-soaked dress, and I was too much of a coward to admit it. He reached out a hand, hovering near her stomach, but not touching. And now, I see I have even more to grovel for. Agape Mu, please. Give me a chance to be the father I never had, to be the husband you deserve. Clara looked at him. She saw the truth in his eyes. The arrogance was gone, replaced by love and fear. She dropped the palette knife. If you ever try to buy me again, Damon Leventis, Never, he swore, pressing his face against her hand. My heart is yours, free of charge. Clara smiled through her tears and ran her fingers through his hair. Then stand up, husband. You have a crib to build. Damon stood, pulling her into a gentle, reverence embrace, kissing her as if she were the most fragile, precious art in the world. Outside, the bells of Florence began to ring. The end,